entrepreneurs rise, innovate, and create lasting impact. And today I have my special guest. He is a full-time entrepreneur, traveler, raver, and of course, dad itself. None other than Mr. Kevin Oneil.
Yeah, how's it going, Daniel?
Oh wow, busy, Mr. Kevin interviewing talented people like you. So thank you for being part on Entrepreneurship 101. And can you please introduce more about yourself and that idea?
Yeah, my name is Kevin Oneil. I reside in North Florida, where I own and run Destiny Water Adventures, as well as a couple other different things. I also have a car rental agency and online boaters safety education, as well as a conference that I put on every year for water sport entrepreneurs and a couple other things, but we'll just keep it at those.
Yes. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Kevin. Thank you. So today, let's talk about, well, something good for sure, being the CEO or the entrepreneurial journey that you are having right now. So we hear lifestyle business as you usually think as a solo consultant or local shop. So tell us what it's all about, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah, I look at lifestyle businesses a little bit differently. Typically, like a lifestyle business is sort of like more like passion driven. There's a lot of people in our industry that they love being out on the water. They love boating, and they get into businesses like water sports because they really enjoy it. And so when you look at tours or travel, it tends to be what we in the tourism business call a lifestyle business. So what I mean by that is businesses again that are just fueled by passion. They're historically not very scalable. Typically, you see a lot of owner operated, owner ran. They're in the day to day, and it affords them to sort of chase down their passion, and they don't really get too much into the business side. And so, for me, business is more of my passion. Business is more of my hobby. I don't. You're not going to really catch me out on a boat rental or a jet ski on my day off. And so, when you see a lot of these business owners, they kind of get trapped by this thing that they initially did because they really enjoyed it, and then the reality sets in that it's an actual business that has to sustain and make money, and then they're answering the phones, they're doing all of the things that require a business stay open, and then the hobby portion, the love of it kind of disappears. So um, I'm definitely more in the idea of scaling things, being a little bit more hands off, and just continuing my entrepreneurial journey and finding different businesses to get involved in. It's been really fun. I enjoy that aspect of it.
Well, thank you for sharing to the world, Mr. Kevin. So, in short, we're talking about the scaled multi seven figure lifestyle business. So, at the multi seven figures, complexity is inevitable. How do you personally define the line where the business serves your life versus you're serving the business itself?
Yeah, you hear this a lot, and it's very true. People, your hires, your staff, your employees, your customers. When I think about the ability to scale without getting drugged down into a lot of things we hear are the way you're supposed to operate: 14-hour days, 7 days a week, grind, grind, grind. Well, it happens to be that this business, Destiny Water Adventures Tourism, it is a 7-day a week endeavor. We're open 7 days a week, every day of the year except for Christmas. My business runs every single day. We don't have weekends off. In fact, we have a lot of our phone systems going till at 10 o'clock at night. Our phones open up at 8 a.m. Emails, um, all day, every day. And so I found myself getting trapped in that. And so I found out pretty quickly it was my business was, instead of me running my business was running me. I had to make really strategic, important hires. I had to have people buy into not just the business, but myself. I had to become a mentor and also learn to let go of certain things and realize that I was not the best at being the head marketer, the head mechanic, the head phone guy, uh, HR, all these things. I had to find people that could take ownership of those roles and be better at those things than myself. And where I see a lot of business owners get trapped, not just in this type of business, but all businesses really, is trying to wear too many hats at the same time and feel like no one's going to do better at this than I do.
Certainly, Mr. Kevin, is there a specific revenue number or team size where it becomes exponentially harder to maintain the lifestyle aspect? What changes at what threshold?
Yeah, that's a good question. So different different business models obviously require different levels of touch, different amounts of staff. For Destiny, which was my first business, uh, I found that the sort of sweet spot as we scaled past a million in revenue and then past 2 million in revenue, because we're so seasonal. Summer is definitely our busiest time of year. Spring, and then it tapers off in the fall, and then we get really slow in the winter. So it was really important that our management and our key roles in the business were at around 6 employees. And then in season, we operate on the just the Destiny Water Adventure side between 20 and 25 seasonal staff. They're full time at that particular business. I have another business that's on the e-com side that in order for us to get to 7 figures of revenue, it has required three of us. Myself, well, we're up to four now. I take that back. We have one full time customer service that answers our phones and handles customer facing issues. We have a full time salesperson who basically just does outbound and covers our inbound inquiries. And then myself and my partner, which handle like all the top level. If there's a client that has an issue or we have some type of problem beyond support staff, one of us can step in. However, that particular business, due to its nature, it's a boater safety test. Without trying to explain it too much, like Destiny Water Adventures is boat rentals and jet skis and tourism. It's pretty simple. When you rent a boat or a jet ski from Destiny Water Adventures or from any Florida rental, and you're born after a certain date, that you have to think of it like a irrevocable boater safety or a boater's license, if you will, like a driver's license. And that product is designed for people to click on a link. They have to take the test online. They pass or fail. They get the test. It's delivered in an email. It's a PDF. So the deliverable is not physical in nature. It's literally just a certificate number. So if they get pulled over by the FWC, which is Florida Fish and Wildlife. In other states, they're called game wardens, but think of it like being the police on the water. They can show them this temporary safety certificate, which again acts as a license for people born after January 1st, 1988. And so what we did there is we just formed relationships with other rentals and other businesses of the same nature. We put a URL affiliate link on their site. Person clicks the link, they take the test, and they have to pay for that. So with that, there's not a lot of touch on that. And so when you look at the two very different business models, both in the same niche, just two very different things. So, and I've only had that business for about 3 years. And that's very relationship driven, very personal brand driven. Most of my clients have come by way of my own podcast, our own event. I wrote a book called From Mate to Millionaire. And that's not, it doesn't have a lot of touch on it. So what I've learned is that I can keep my hands off of at least the day to day, or being drowned in the day to day, and still maintain my lifestyle and being able to buy back my time at a discount, just through different mechanisms. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, Mr. Kevin. For most entrepreneurs, scaling is something else, right? You can be present in your life if you're necessary for every decision. What are the key roles or systems you have installed to make yourself redundant in day-to-day operations?
Yeah, on the physical businesses, it really comes down to standard operating procedures and making sure that we have SOPs that um, we don't even necessarily need to review them quarterly. We can really review our SOPs from season to season. Again, because 60% of our revenue comes in a relatively short window, around less than 2 quarters. We can either proactively or retroactively make adjustments to our SOPs, because the demand at the single location never really wavers. And so if we have to review something because our costs are going up and it's more on the financial side, then I have to step in and be a little bit more present on that, and be a little bit more intentional about pricing or spending strategies. But as far as the day-to-day operations, nothing in that changes. So we have a hiring process, we have a review process, uh, and it's been my experience that we've had to a lot of small businesses, even on their management side, will tend to make their management wear multiple hats. So when you look at um, a key man constraint in a business, where if your listeners are unfamiliar, the owner is sort of the obstacle in the business's growth and development. So what happens there is when small business owners tend to step back from the day to day, what they do is they hand down the roles and responsibilities to one, two, three key members of staff, and then they sort of make them wear all of those same hats, rather than um, delegating specific responsibilities and sort of running their small business like a large business, and having each of those people act as departments. And so, and I'm guilty of this, and I'm still refining it day to day, where we don't want to teach down sort of the bad habits that we've um, instilled in ourselves on down to our team. So then that key man constraint and that growth lever gets obstructed, um, not by you now, but by members of your team, because you've given them these bad habits and not invested in more key staff uh, to allow their vision on their project, their management, to not be constrained by all these outside things that aren't really in their job description. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners get held up on hiring better, hiring more qualified staff, and allowing that constraint or disallowing that constraint to be passed on down to them.
Very well said, Mr. Kevin. And tell us, what is the one non negotiable system or process that you protect all the costs to prevent the business from creeping into your personal life?
Sales and marketing.
Mm,
Yeah,
why is it?
sales and marketing is this. It's always the key driver. As long as revenue's coming in, we can sort of figure out everything else. As long as the phones are ringing, as long as we're having a lot of online conversions, because Destiny Water Adventures, our Jeep rental business, Take My Boat Test, all of them have a strong e-commerce component, meaning that they're buying and paying for our services online. And so as long as our sales system's strong, as long as our marketing system is strong, and we continue to fuel top line growth, then again, we can proactively reduce costs. If we've made a mistake somewhere and overspent somewhere or gone beyond our forecasting, then we can go back inside and fix that. However, if our costs increase and our top line decreases, then we have a problem. then I have to, then I sort of have to step in and maybe do creative problem solving or work with our team and do a little bit of dialogue back and forth to figure out what's happening so we can right the ship in the right direction. But if our sales and marketing strong and dollars are flowing in, it's been my experience that we can adjust spend or adjust whatever system and process. But again, on some of the main revenue drivers, not much of that's changed, right? That sort of gets into where you've optimized, a single location business, and does its revenue, it does its revenue at what it does its bottom line at what it does, and that's sort of where you're at. Business does 1.5 million, especially with brick and mortar, especially with single location. It becomes very challenging to drive any more significant revenue or sales if you only have one Subway sandwich or one McDonald's, right? So when you buy into a franchise model, they sort of already have those numbers. So at the end of that journey, if everything's been done right, then your exit strategy is all based on your EBITDA and your bottom line numbers. So for our location, it's really a turnkey, uh, not ownership needed business. So if I were to ever list Destiny Water Adventures, I want to sell Destiny Water Adventures, we have 3 to 5 years of financial that support our profit margins, that support our top line revenue. And as long as all of that makes sense, there's no break in the matrix, if you will, then there's really not a need for me to step in, and unless something really shifts in the marketing world, which we are starting to see with LLMs and their prevalence of being used as a quasi search engine for the general public. But nothing that's too much of a shakeup, or nothing that we can't sort of start to build into our daily sales and marketing processes, because it's not like overnight, right? It's not like, oh my God, no one's using Google anymore. It's like, oh, now we're seeing like 7 to 10% in fiscal year 2025 of referrals coming from Chat GPT or Claude or one of those, and then you just uh, you operate as such, right? Go into Reddit threads, maybe push some of your review structures toward TripAdvisor or Yelp or any one of the key marketplaces that LLMs are sourcing their um, data.
Well, very well said, Mr. Kevin. Imposter syndrome does not magically disappear at figures. When you're taking a Thursday afternoon off and play golf or be with family, do you ever hear a voice saying you should be working? How
Oh
you
yeah.
quiet it?
Oh, no, no,
How you
no, no,
quiet it?
no.
No?
No, I'm not. I still get, yeah, absolutely. I still have the you should be working voice in my head for sure. Yeah, all the time. All the time because as I said, um I've got four businesses currently. We're in the midst of a a mentorship program within the water sports world because I've sort of keyed in that there is really no there's no content creation or uh, um, wealth of resources for water sport operators to places for them to go and learn. I think myself and my podcast partners' books are the only ones on Amazon that you can find on how to start a water sport business, how to rent boats and jet skis, how to do it as a side hustle. And so, sort of moving into the creator sphere, there's a whole world out there. I mean, I don't have to tell you. You can spend 12 hours a day just in the creator space, doing podcasts, books, YouTube videos. Like that whole world is just wide open in our industry. So we have the only event in the states that I know of that's specific toward water sport operators, whether it be boat rentals, jet skis, parasails, snorkeling. We cover the whole breadth of that industry. And again, I don't know any other place. Like I've gone far and wide on YouTube, and there's some people that are trying to sell, half baked consultancy services, but nobody in there that's really achieved the level of success that we have in the space. And just to act as sort of like um, a knowledge base for these guys is because there's nothing out there. There's a lot. I feel like I could sell everything tomorrow, go into the creator space, and teach people how to start and scale water sports businesses full time. But I do like having physical businesses. I do like having a staff. I do like having a team. I do like having an office. So I don't know that I'm ready to pivot just quite yet. But in the back of my head, I'm like, oh my God, you should be creating content every day, all day.
Certainly. So, Mr. Kevin, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my Abstract Essay is already in sixth season, Abstract Poverty in third season, and of course, my book 101 review in sixth season too, Comedy 101 in fourth season, and my Food 101 in sixth season as well. Geography 101, Love Letters, Movie 101 review, Music 101 are in fifth season, Science 101, Sex 101, fourth season, and my baby podcast, Trivia 101, Spiritual Awakening 101, and of course, Entrepreneurship 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Coaching 101, and of course, Bible Verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Kevin, what is the biggest luxury that you are multi seven figure lifestyle businesses actually bought you?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? I got bad hearing. See, you say that
No
one more
worries.
time.
So, what is the biggest luxury that your multi seven figure lifestyle business has actually bought you?
Um, oh, that's a good one. Yeah, last year we did. I took my family. I bought a new truck and a RV, and we did a 35-day trip across Western United States. And the luxury is the time, right? Not the truck, not the
Yeah.
RV. The luxury was my ability to be able to go and do that for 35 days and not have to worry about my business. And came back and everything was not on fire. So that was a luxury in and of itself. Yep.
Indeed, that's a luxury, Mr. Kevin. It's priceless to have your own time, to manage your own time, plus the business itself. It's something else. So, Mr. Kevin, can you please invite our listeners to support your business, your advocacy, or whatever project that you're doing right now?
Yeah, actually, if you want to hear more about how to start and scale a water sports business, you can actually visit my podcast, the Awkward Water Sports Guys podcast. We're in the middle of a rebrand, so that might change. But Kevin and Greg Live.com should be wrapped up by the end of this month. So you can go to kevinandgreglive.com, find out about our podcast, our books, our event, and if you so choose, you can find our book, my book, From Mate to Millionaire, on Amazon or Barnes and Noble.
Yes, people, let's about Mr. Kevin, because if you support him, for sure, more and more empowering business to thrive. So, Mr. Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Daniel. I appreciate being on.
Likewise, Mr. Kevin. More to come, people. See you soon.